If you go online and you say, hey, I have a spending problem and I really need some help so that I can fix it, you're going to get a swarm of people coming at you with the same response. They're going to say, you need a budget. Guess what? It's not going to work because a budget in and of itself is not a solution. It may be a part of a solution because it is a valuable tool, but it is not the solution. What I mean by that is if you take their advice and you go and set up a budget and you put in all of your expense items, your savings, your investments, whatever you want to put in your budget, and then you go on and live your life and suddenly expect this budget that you've created to influence your real life behavior and therefore get you to solve your spending problem, it's obviously not going to work because the budget is just a theoretical plan. When you're making decisions in real time, whether it's something as small as buying a packet of gum or going and paying $100 towards your student loans, you are the one making the decision, and the decision that you make is going to be influenced by whatever's in your head and how you're feeling at that point in time. You see, when you're making the decision, the budget is not sitting in front of your eyes. It's not influencing that decision in real time. It only has a passive influence on the decisions that you make. And that's why, from a practical standpoint, your theoretical plan, aka your budget, is not going to change your reality. And your reality is what is causing the spending problem. So we need to spend more time looking at the executor of the plan versus the plan. So we need to look at you. And that's where I think a lot of people are falling short on their advice. When it comes to the plan, there are two things that you need to do to make sure that you are actually pursuing the right plan and that you are likely to achieve that plan. So let's talk about those two things. The first thing that you need is a clear idea of the problem that you're trying to solve. What happens a lot of times is that people focus on the symptom of a problem rather than the root cause. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you have realized that you're spending too much money on clothes. Now, maybe you create a budget and you limit yourself in that budget to $75 a month on clothes. So you start off with your plan, and let's say that in the first 2 months, you are successfully able to keep under that $75 limit for clothes. In the third and fourth months, you spend a little bit more than $75. And in the fifth month, you decide that you're not going to continue with the budget anymore because you feel that it's too restrictive. It doesn't match your lifestyle. Now, what just happened over there is that you created a budget based on the problem that you thought you had to solve, overspending on clothes. But actually, it's a symptom of the real problem. The real problem could be a host of different things, and I wrote some of these down. Compulsion, boredom, frustration, anxiety, social pressures, negative self-image. There could be a lot of different psychological things that are going on that could cause you to have that issue that ends up with you overspending on clothes. So, you need to identify the root issue of whatever problem it is that you're trying to solve. Because the more time you spend chasing down and trying to solve the symptoms, the bigger the root problem is going to become and the more frustrated and defeated you will feel. Now, knowing that you have a problem does not mean that you're going to fix it, because we're human beings, we're not machines. So the second thing that you need is a meaningful reason to make a change. What is that thing that's going to push you to make the change consistently and have a long-term solution for your problem? Having a meaningful reason to make a change is so important because when you are making real-time decisions, you're so much more likely to make a better decision if it aligns with what you actually want. In the long term, personal finance success is only going to come when you're able to align your money and your life. When they're working together in harmony, that's when you're going to get the best results. Because again, the decisions are made by you. You and your money are linked in that sense. So if you are doing things in your best interest, your money is going to follow suit. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. So going back to the original question, once you have your concrete problem and a meaningful reason to make a change, then you can incorporate that into your plan and make a budget accordingly. And once you do that, your budget is going to have a far higher chance of succeeding, aka getting you to solve your problem, because it's made with what you want in mind and at the center of it. Your budget then becomes both a guideline and a benchmark. As you go, you can passively check your budget to see if you are aligning to your plan, and when you look back retrospectively, you can check whether you were successful or not at given stages. If you do all of these things and if it's successful, you'll see that you'll quickly move on from that problem to another problem. If you have the same problem for a really long time, then probably there's something that you need to tweak. So likely what's going to happen is that you're going to solve your problem, and then you're going to reassess and then come up with new objectives or new goals and change your budget accordingly. Now, I just want to make a quick note, which I think is very important. You are going to have lapses and you're going to have days when it's difficult to stick to your budget, but that's okay as long as in the long term, you are continuing in the right direction. You may not achieve 100% of your target. You may achieve 80% of it, 120% of it. It's a wide range really. But the point is that you're heading in the right direction, because long-term financial success comes from being directionally accurate for a long time. So to go back to the title of the video, a budget will not fix your spending problems. You are going to fix your spending problems, and you're going to use a budget to do so, a budget that's created with your interests in mind, that's setting you up to be successful. Now, as you can very easily tell, Feel Good Fi is a very small channel on YouTube. So if you found what I said valuable today, then I'm going to ask 3 favors of you. 1, please like the video. 2, subscribe if you want to get my videos again. And number 3, I would love for you to comment and tell me what the most important part of the video was for you. And if you disagree with something that I said, I would love to discuss that as well. That's all for today. I hope to see you soon. Take care.